What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Just a Guy on My Lunch Break. We're going to discuss something that I personally find pretty freaking funny. Then again, I kind of have, even as a 40 something year old man, sixth, seventh, eighth, tops, eighth grade sense of humor. So maybe everyone doesn't find this funny, but there was a fight at a voting booth earlier this week. I think 2 days. So I guess it would have been Wednesday that this happened in South Carolina, and I'm from the Carolinas, so it's somewhat embarrassing because here we have these South Carolinians representing the Carolinas, and they represent well. I'm telling you, it's rough. And this was over a hat. And you say to me, you say, Corey, that sounds crazy, man. I mean, they just must be idiots. Why would they be fighting over a hat? Why would that cause, people to actually put hands on other people? Well, there's more to it than people just being offended. And there's actually some laws in place regarding this. So, what we're going to do first, we're going to look at the video because, of course, someone was filming it. I mean, when does anything ever happen these days where somebody's not sitting there filming it instead of helping or instead of calling the authorities? They're sitting there filming it. Then again, if somebody hadn't have been filming it, we never would have known for sure what went down and what happened and what took place, which you'll see once you look at the video why it's important that someone did film it. Then we're also going to read the article that discusses the law and the law surrounding this particular issue. And then we're just going to judge the shit out of everybody involved in the video. Because that's what we do on here. That's what we do. Right? All right. So, all right. We're going to watch the video first. I'm sorry. It's funny as shit to me. I don't know if everybody feels the same way I do about this sort of thing, but so let's first watch the video right here. All right, here we go.
Oh, wow.
There's no reason. Yeah, all that answer. Sir.
Wow.
Listen, don't cuss at me. This is my mother right here.
Wow.
Why is it defending you? It's like defending me. All right, then shut the hell up and let me vote. Okay, we ain't got nothing else to say. We ain't got nothing else to say.
Wow.
Next thing up. There it is right there. No.
Wow. Oh, wow. God. Oh.
Oh.
Wow. 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 I might want to help with him. I may want to help with him.
And this last name is Dillinger. White male, blue shirt, blue jeans, cursing, assaulted an employee of the state. He is Mr. Stillinger.
Wow.
Last name Stillinger.
Wow.
No, we're not wrong. We just told you he is still here. He is still here. Cussing.
Wow.
That's all we told you.
Wow.
So where's limestone?
So now you've seen it. You've been able to look and kind of, make your own assessment, right? Welcome to the Carolinas, baby. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. Then we also sit around and film, and I wish I'd have counted because I'm pretty sure that woman said wow like probably 36 and a half times, I believe. Anyway, um, so yeah, you first look at it, and this was all over a hat. Okay, everything, every bit of it over a hat, apparently. And you might say to me, Corey, you know, what? Why does that matter? Who cares about what kind of hat people are wearing? And this is something that is actually written in the laws, and I was not at all aware of that. I'm going to be completely honest. Now, what we're going to do is look at this article, and we're actually going to collectively gather an understanding as to why these workers had such an issue with his hat. Was it because they were offended? Perhaps. But from their perspective, and to give them credit, there was a little bit more to it than that. But there's this is like an onion. There's a few layers here. All right. So a fight broke out in an early voting location in Orangeburg County, South Carolina, between a man wearing a "Let's Go Brandon" hat, polling workers. So the fight broke out between a guy wearing a "Let's Go Brandon" hat and polling workers. For those of you who don't know, and you know what, I'm not even going to say what "Let's Go Brandon" means because it addresses it later in the article. I wasn't sure, to be completely honest. I wasn't sure what it meant. Video shows punches being thrown by both parties before. Okay, there were not punches thrown by both parties. The man did not throw any punches. He was being an asshole, first rate asshole, but he wasn't throwing punches. Punches being thrown by both parties before authorities are called in to break up the fisticuffs. Fisticuffs. South Carolina laws say voters are not allowed to wear anything that displays a political party, campaign apparel, or buttons near voting sites. The on Wednesday, October 30th, underlined its efforts to protect voters' access to the box as early voting continues in advance of Election Day. Voters can't wear campaign garb into polling places. It's a law, not a courtesy. That sparked a scuffle at Orangeburg County early voting site that's under investigation currently by state law enforcement. But the phrase on that hat that started the dispute could be legal following President Biden's withdrawal from the race. State law doesn't allow campaign materials within 500 feet of the entrance of a polling location. That rule isn't limited to candidates. It also means voters can't broadcast their support of anyone on the ballot by distributing or wearing hats, shirts, buttons, pins, posters, and flyers. The state election commission has posters at every polling place to remind voters of those rules. In Orangeburg County on Wednesday, a voter did not want to remove his hat, which said, "Let's go, Brandon." According to WIS-TV, it's a phrase that took off last October among fans of former President Donald Trump as a substitute for using profanity. So if you didn't know, now you know. "Let's go, Brandon," in terms of internationally, is internationally known and via the internet as just being a blatant, overt, like phrase of profanity towards Joe Biden. An argument escalated between the voter and poll workers. After cursing and being told he couldn't vote, the voter threw his hat toward the bystander in line who was videotaping the dispute. He turned to confront a poll worker who told him to leave. She appears to slap him. I don't think she appeared to slap him. I think she slapped the shit out of him because I saw it. I love how they say she appears to slap him. For me, the bigger question is what he actually did because you see him turn around, but from the perspective of the camera, we're behind him. So we couldn't see exactly what he did. Now he either pointed at her like this, or he touched her. And I just gotta say, if he touched her, if he like touched her on her forehead, I can understand why she slapped the shit out of him. That's invasion of space. Once you touch someone, especially when there's already an argument and a heated disagreement that has ensued, you just don't touch it. I mean, that's just kind of a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. So she appears to slap him, and people stepped in to hold him back, according to the video circulating on social media. Let me just say right out of the gate, if he had wanted to get at her, he would have been able to get at her. He was, you could tell it pissed him off, but you know, he's a big guy, you know, big guy. I mean, he's probably, I mean, I'd say that guy, I don't know how tall he was, but I'd say he was at least 260. So if he would have wanted to get to her, I'm sure he could have. According to a state election commission spokesperson, voters who show up to a polling place wearing campaign gear will be asked to remove it or cover it up so it is not visible to other voters. Poll workers had been trained to not allow Let's Go Brandon clothing as electioneering. Howard Knapp, director of the State Election Commission, told the Post and the Courier. However, since Biden is no longer on the ballot, he believes the phrase no longer violates the law, he told the newspaper. So this is director of state election, Howard Knapp, is saying, well, it would have been illegal for the guy to wear that hat, but since Biden is no longer running and he is no longer one of the electives, I guess he can wear it now, right? Just a loophole in the law, like we talk about, right? There are other legal no-nos at the polls as well. State law also bans from carrying a handgun at a polling place. Having a concealed weapon permit doesn't exempt voters from that law. I mean, that one is pretty obvious to me. Voters also can't show their ballots to anyone. That includes taking a photo of it. So no selfies at the ballot box. They are not allowed. Early voting continues, yada, 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 yada. So, all right. So that's pretty much it on that. So what do you guys think? I mean, what do you think? What do you think? Thought here. I mean, let me just say this. Obviously, I think this guy knew that he was pissing some people off, or that he was going to piss some people off by wearing this hat, right? I mean, the hat is overtly a swing at the left. Okay, it's overtly a swing at the Democrats. There's no doubt that. There's no doubt that this guy probably knew that. He probably thought about that in advance. But he also probably thought, I mean, he's not running. So technically it's not illegal. He found that little loophole, right? And decided to exploit it, even still knowing that it was going to piss off some people, or it was going to get some people riled up, right? Which it did. As far as the rest of it, he called the woman the B word. All right. Them's are just fighting words, man. That is a fighting word, especially when you're talking to a black woman. Just saying, bro. I'm just saying. I mean, it is supremely disrespectful to say that to any woman, no matter her race, color, creed, whatever. But definitely, so I guess more so what I'm saying, it's disrespectful to all women, but black women ain't gonna take that shit. Let me just put it to you, just put it to you that way. Oh, she straight swung on him. I'm telling you. So as far as that's concerned, but then again, I'm one of those people that I'm a very practical thinking individual. Okay. I'm not one of those people that thinks that women should just have a right to put their hands on and slap the shit out of men without any repercussion. I don't really think that way. Um, you know, I obviously don't condone putting your hand on a woman in that way in terms of abuse or assault, uh, you know, but at the same time, I also absolutely do not condone a woman being able to slap a man. Now, did he deserve it? He's in there dropping the B word, telling people to shut the hell up, throwing his hat, and then he turns around and he does whatever he does to that woman beside him that caused her to slap him across the face. So he did something there, whether it was touch her or even point at her, which is also very disrespectful. But with that said, she still shouldn't have slapped the shit out of the guy. I mean, yes, a sensitive subject, very Which part of it? people's, people's political thoughts and opinions or affiliations. Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about the B word, or telling people to shut the hell up, or the fact that he was wearing a hat that said "Let's go Brandon" when the whole country knows that that means "F you" to you know the current sitting president. The slap, yeah, the slap, a woman slapping a man, yeah. You're saying that's a sensitive subject? How so? Elaborate, Trixie, elaborate. I think it all has to do with, me personally. I feel like it all has to do with, uh, I mean, I don't think it should ever really be done. Well, let me back up. Let me digress. I don't think, obviously, it's more socially acceptable for a woman to do that to a man. Yeah. Oh no, no. I absolutely agree with that. Absolutely agree with that. Because if she would have pointed at him and he would have turned around and went whap, you know, his ass will be in jail right now. Let's just get real. Yeah, no, it is wrong. It is wrong. I think it's wrong, um, because that's a woman assuming that the man is not going to do anything back, and I think she felt that security being there with all of those people around. People are videoing it. She's in a public place. All of those things, I think, gave her that freedom to where she felt like she could do it without getting her ass beat. Right? I mean, let's just get real. Yeah, women always want equal rights. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for equal rights. Don't get me wrong, but when it comes to putting your hands on people and getting physical with other people, it's just one of those things. You just don't do it. She shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have done what he did either. He shouldn't have been in there calling people the B word and everything else he was doing. So you know, I definitely agree with that as well. But the part about her slapping him. And then I noticed when they called the police, they turned around and said he was assaulting her. I'm like, wait a minute, wait a minute. I mean, I guess you could consider it a verbal assault. Using the B word is absolutely assaulting someone with your words. There's no doubt about that. But it sounded more like he's physically assaulting her. He absolutely didn't physically assault her that I saw. If anybody was physically assaulted, he was physically assaulted when she slapped the shit out of him. So anyway, these people are poll workers. They obviously did not handle it very professionally. Um, and he is just a far right redneck idiot, I guess is all you could say. Yes, police usually unfairly side with the woman. No, that's true. That's true. And I don't think that's right. I don't think women should put their hands on men in that way any more than men should put their hands on women. It's not right in either case. It's not right in either case. Let's just put it that way. But anyway, I gotta go. I just wanted to share that story with you guys. Thanks for popping in, Trixie. Appreciate it. Um, but yeah, welcome to the Carolinas. That's how we roll around here, baby. Getting in fights at voting booths. I mean, that's what we do. It's like, oh, when I first saw the story and then I saw that it was South Carolina, I was like, oh, brother. We're not all like that, I promise. But anyway, yeah, fun times. All right, guys, subscribe to the channel if you've not liked the video. I will see you next. You're new, are you? You love the Liam Payne stuff, yeah, yeah. Um, when I get some more information, I'm going to talk about that some more. I'm going to talk about that some more. I talk about all kinds of stuff on here, Trixie. I really do. I talk about, kratom use, which is kind of like an opiate. That's kind of how the channel got started. But then I don't take that anymore. So I'm kind of start expanding into talking about other things now, popular news, current events, that sort of thing. So I do a little bit of everything on here. So yeah, just, keep checking back. I love it when people check back in on me. But anyway, I gotta go, guys. My wife's been out of town for like 4 days. She's on her way back right now, so I'm pretty excited about her coming back. Oh, Trixie's trying to keep it going. She says Liam, I think, will turn out like Matthew Perry. Yeah, well, I, I think there's definitely some foul play there. I completely concede to that. There's no I mean, that to me, that's pretty obvious. That there's some foul play going on. Yeah. Until next time. Until next time. Trixie, thanks for stopping in. All right, guys. Just to go on my lunch break is out. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment down below. We'll see you next time. All right. Peace.